Hello everyone, welcome back to SQL with Neel. In today's video, we are exploring one of the most practical topics in SQL Server, working with strings. So let's start with the first problem. It's about walk through a string, so where you need to display each character of name John on the separate row. So let's say that I have this string and I want to have each character on different row. So I want like this. So how we can do that? Okay, so in order to do that, we just require to first take character from the whole string and we need to union. So let's start working with query where you will learn how you can um, solve this problem. So we need to select first, then if we want to take any characters from the string, we need to write substring. So substring means we need part of the string. So we will use substring and then we will first, so here you can see we have first expression, starting position and length. So we need to mention uh, three arguments first. So first argument will be the name, the string, John, then the starting position. So we need to select first J. So starting position will be 1, comma, length, how many characters you want. So we want only one character. So we want only one letter called J. Okay, and then we will do similar thing for others as well. So we need to union because we want all these letters in one column. So we will write all, then we just need to mention another substring. So I'm just copying this one, so I will not have to write it again. So here, here I just need to select O, okay? So that the position I will change from 1 to 2. The length will be remain same because I want to take only one character. So again, I need to extract the H only from the string. So I will write 3 and similar for the last character as well. And 4. Now I don't need any union more because I have completed this one. Okay, now if I run this query, we will get this result. Let's check it. So you can see that we have the JOHN in separate rows. So this is the way we can solve this problem. Now the second problem, we want to add quotes inside a string. So let's suppose that we want to display John's book apostrophe S. How we can do that? So it's very simple but effective. So we need to always select, then in the quotation. So whenever we are mentioning any string, we need to write in the quotation. But here the difference is that so we cannot write like this. Okay, so if we need apostrophe s, we need to add two quotation marks, the single quotation marks, and then book. Okay, let's check how it works. So let me just execute this one, and you can see here it's John's book. So we can see here we have the apostrophe s. So this is very simple, but most of the people make a mistake by using just one quotation instead of two single quotations. And then the third problem is that count the occurrences of the character, count how many times dash appears in this string. So in this string, we can simply see that we have two dashes. Okay, now we need to calculate how many times. So this is for one, but what if we have many rows? We cannot calculate row by row. So what we need to do, I can help you to write and solve this query. So first write down select, then we need to use len. So len use like it's a inbuilt function which returns the length of the characters. So if you have, I can show you what it means. So let me just copy the whole string So we have here, okay, perfect. So we want the length of this character. So if I run this one, you can see here the length of this string is 20. And now our problem is that we want to count how many dash we have. Okay, so first of all, I have to subtract the without the dashes. So what I will do, I will just add one more lane, and in that I will replace the same string. So I will replace part of the string. So I will replace the dash with just empty space. So there is no space. I just want to remove the dash from the string. Okay, perfect. And I will write as dash count. Okay, perfect. Let's run and check does it work or not. Yeah, it worked. So we have, you can see that we have two dashes. So you can do for uh, any other character as well. So let's suppose that you want to count how many s. So s we have two, okay? It does not matter you have small s or the capital one. So let me show you. So I have entered this one, and here you can see that our output is 2. So that means it does not change the output whether we are writing capital S or small s. So let's write just A. So in this string we have only one A. So let's run and see it's worked. Yeah, this works. Like we have only one A. So this is very powerful function, and you can use this technique. So basically what we have done, so we have selected the length of the string, which was 20. Then we calculated the length of this string without the dash. So I have removed this dash and I calculated that, and I subtracted from this one. So this seems that like we know that there are only two dashes. Why we did that? But what if we have big data? So in big data we will have millions of the rows, and we cannot spend those much time to just calculate manually. So that's why we have done this one. Now let's move to the next question. So you want to remove unwanted characters. So this is like a part of the previous question. So remove the dash from the course code. So here we have this table. So I will share these code with you. So you can use the same table which I'm using. So I'm just executing this one. So we can see 4 rows affected. So that means we have this one. So now let's see that. So we want to remove the dash from this column called course. Okay, course code. So let me write down the solution for. So always select, then write down the name of the column, course code. Then what you will do, you will replace. So replace course code, course code. So you will replace dash with just empty, and you will write as clean code, and you need to mention that from which table. So we have table name called course. Okay, so let's run and check whether it's worked or not. Yeah, so you can see that we have removed the dash. Now suppose if you want a space in between, like the name of the subject and code, you just simply need to make a space here, and you can just execute this, and you can see that you have here space in between those two different, like subject and its code. Okay, perfect. It's very easy. We have already covered how we can replace the string. Now let's say that you want to separate the number and text. So in here as well we have the numbers and string. So let's suppose that we have this table and you want to separate. So in this table, this is called student table. So in that we have student ID, we have full name, and we have course info. So in that we have here, you can see we have student ID, then we have the full name, first name and last name. And then under course info, we have the like course details like subject with the code. Now we want to separate the course name and course number. So before that, we need to first insert this one. So we need to first create a table here, and let me show you. Okay, perfect. Let me show you the table so you can easily understand here. And let me execute this one. So here we have table student ID, full name, and course info. We need to separate the column called a course info, where we need to separate the string and the number. So let's check how we can do. So here this is slightly advanced level string, but you can easily understand once I will show you. So we need to select first course info. So course info is our column name. Then what we need to do is we need to select the left string from the course info. Oh, I have written this one. Let me just copy so it will be easy for me, and I will avoid the typo mistake as well. And okay, perfect. And here we will use a function called PATINDEX. So PATINDEX is useful to just extract the numbers. Like if we have here in maths, we have 101. So pat index useful for to extract just only numbers. So in the first argument, we need to mention the pattern. Like we have to mention that if anything is in between 0 to 9, so just extract those. Okay, so let me just finish this expression. So this is our pattern. We want to extract that, and we need to mention the column name, and then we will do -1. I will show you why I have done that, but let me first write down here, then I will explain you in a simple way. Okay, so I have to first close the parentheses and as course name. Perfect. Now I want to write the second thing. So I have already uh, mentioned how we can select, like extract the string. Now I need to just have the numbers. So I will use a substring in order to extract the part of the string. Even though I'm using, like extracting the numbers, like this is still under string as the type of the column. So I just need to use substring, substring of the course info, and then I need to use path index, and then I will use same. So let me just copy this one so I will not have to write it again. Perfect. And then we need to mention, so we know that in the substring, first we need to mention what string we need and from where do you want to start, and for how long, like the length of the strings. So we are mentioning like maximum of the length. So we don't need to mention about the specifically, like we want 3, 4. It will automatically count the length of the strings. So we just need to mention as course number, and we need to mention first from where we use these columns information. So from the table students. Okay, and now let's run and check, then I will explain this code. So here's, you can see in the course name we have only the name of the course, while in the course number we have just a number. Okay, so this is slightly advanced level, but it's a very, very important. In most of the real world example, we require to use that. Okay, so if you have any question, you can just leave the comment. I will help you with that. So let's understand. So what does left do? So left extract everything before the first number. So here I want to extract the string before the these numbers. Okay, so in this case it will extract only math. So left is extracts everything before the first number, but we need to mention the pattern. Okay, so if I talk about why we have used -1, so here we use a -1 because it will extract from here, but we need to mention -1, so it will show only math and it will not include 1. So what suppose if I remove this one? Let me show you that. So you can see that if I remove the -1, then it will show you math1. So it will include the first digit as well in the course name. So that's why it's important to mention like -1 in order to avoid the first number. So let me first execute this one. Perfect. And now the substring. So what is substring? So substring extract everything from the first number onwards. So in our case, so substring, we want to start from the numbers. So we have mentioned that PATINDEX, and then how long. So it depends. Like you can mention any length here, but it will extract till it number has. Okay. So you can see the output as well. So it's very simple and it's a very, very important. And now let's move to the next question, the question number 6, and check whether string is alphanumerical. Find the values containing only letters and numbers. So now we have we need to create this table. So in this table, the table name is codes, and in that we have only one column called code, and in that we have 5 rows, I think, and in that we have different type of codes. Some of codes has the hashtag at the rate, and so we need to keep only alphanumerical rows. We don't need any other. Okay, so let's write down that code here. So select everything from codes, but before that we just require to run execute this query, as we don't have that table under our database. So let's create this one. So we have now table under our database. So codes, then we need to mention where we will filter. We will filter the column called code, and it's not like, and we will mention the pattern. Okay, not like, and then so this is the pattern. You don't need to memorize, but you can keep in mind like what you need. So it's a simple, so like A to capital Z, and small a to small z, and 0 to 9. And we need to complete this one. Okay, let's run and see the output. Perfect. So you can see here we have only the alphanumerical values. We don't have any data which contains the hashtag or add, nothing. And if I use just like, then let's check the difference between is. So here, if you write like, then it will show you the all the observation which also contain hashtag and add. So that's why we write not like that. So which will remove the non-alphanumerical values. Now let's move to the next question. So next problem is extract the initials from a name. So suppose we have John Smith. So under our student table, we have John Smith, and we want to convert into the initials, just J and S. So let's learn. This is very important, and I will show you how you can do that. So here we have the query. So in the first one, so we need to select first full name to show that we have this difference. So to extract first the first initial from the first name, we need to simply use the left, which extract the substring before the indicated number. So we want to extract the first initial. So if I, let me just copy here, and if I use only this one, you will see the difference. So if I execute here, you can see we have the initials of first name. So left of full name, comma 1. So 1 indicates that we want the first initials. Then the second one, we need to extract the initial of the last name. So we will use a left again, then we will use a substring. So first we will select the only last names. So we have here substring, then full name. So in the substring, we need to have three arguments. First is the string, means that we need to uh, take the sub part of the full name, then char index. So we need to mention that from this character we want. So we want after the space. So in between like full name, like first name and last name, we have the space. So we want everything after first space. And that's why we have added one. Like we don't want to have the space. And then lane means the length of the characters. And comma one, as we know that we want the first initial of the last name. So we can do separately here. Let me just show you what will we get if we use this one. So you can see SWLBW. So these are the initials of the last name. But what if I remove +1 from here? So let me just execute this one. So it shows blank. Okay. And if I write down here 2, so if you don't add +1, it will show the first character as a space. So if I write 2, then it will give space and S, space and W, space and L. So that's the reason we have added 1. So to indicate that we want from the first character of the last name. So, and the lane of full name. So that will be the length of the whole uh, full name. So let me just, so let's combine all these things. So now you can see that we have J, S, E, W. So we have the initials of first and last name. And here I have used plus here to combine two strings. These will extract the initial of first name, and the second part of this query will extract the initial of the last name, and I have combined. So whenever you want to combine any strings, you will use addition. Okay, so this is very useful query, and in most of the like real examples, like for the sales, we always have the customer name. So we sometimes we need to just have the initials of that. Okay, now let's move to the next problem. So the next problem is sort by part of string problem. So not the whole string, but depend. So here we have sort the student's name by the last two characters of their names. So if we have here, let's say that we have Smith here, so TH. So we want to sort that names by the last two characters. So we need to use first. Let me show you how we can do it. It's very simple than our previous queries. So select, then full name, then we need to select the table we are using. So we will use student table. And now whenever we need to sort anything, we will use order by. So order by clause will like it's useful for sorting our data. It's you can sort the numerical data as well, string data as well. So first we need to mention that we want to sort our string by the last two characters. So the right, so if you want to like take the initials part of the string, then you will use left. But if you want at the end of, like from the end of the characters or string, you will use right. So let's write down. So let me just copy the full name here, and I will paste it here, and comma 2. So let's run. So I have used 2 because we want to sort the student name by last two characters. So right requires 2 arguments, as we did in for the left as well. So let's run, and you can see that the string has been sorted by the length of the last two characters of the full name. So EE, ON, then TH, WN. So it's sorted by the last two characters of their names. Let's move to the next problem. So the next problem is sort by a number inside a string problem. So we have problem here, sort course info by the course number. So in the course info, if you want to see what we have, so let me just select everything from students table here, and let me show you what we have in course info. So in course info, we have the subject name and with the numbers, and we want to sort these column by the numbers, not the whole string or not the last two characters. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all, I will use select, then I will write course info. It's a column I want to sort, then from students, then I will use order by because I want to sort the column, and I will use cast. Why? Because we have this one as a string, so we have to first extract the just number and then we will sort it. So to extract this number, we know that we need to use substring. So substring of course info, then we need to use PATINDEX to extract the numbers here. We need to show the pattern of the numbers. So it will be 0 to 9, and then close bracket, and then close that pattern as well. I forgot to use the quotation. It must be there, and then comma. Then we need to mention the column name here. Then we will, so in the substring, we know that we need to have 3 arguments. So okay, let me, it's a typo mistake. So order by, then we need 3 arguments. So we have already mentioned to the last one will be always length of the string. So then it should be course info. Then we need to mention that we need as an integer, and then close it. Now let's run and check what we get here. So you can see that we have sorted our column, the course info, by the numbers. So it's now 101, then 110, 120, 205, 310. So it's sorted by the number, not the by string or not the by last two characters. Now, the last problem, create a comma separated list from rows. So this is very unusual scenario where we get these type of problem where we need to combine all the list of the student names or customers name. We just need to create the list of the names in a just one row. So but sometimes we require to use that. So let's solve this problem. So then we will use a string aggregation. So we can also aggregate the string, but we need to use string aggregate as this is a inbuilt function to make a list of your any column as a list. So full, let me just write down full name. So I'm just going to make a list of all students, and here we need 2 arguments. First is the expression, means we want to combine all the students' name as a list, and we will use separate. You can use like space as well, but I always recommend to use a comma because we have full name, so first name and last name. So we will use comma as a separator. Then we will use as. Then you can write down student list here, and we need to select the table as well. So from student. Perfect. So we have here our query. Let's run and check. Perfect. So you can see that we have the list of our students, and it's separated by the comma as we have mentioned. So we have used string aggregation. So this is all about how we handle the string. So it's a very, very important, and I hope you like this one. And in the next, I will also cover the next chapter. So these techniques are widely used in the real world data, like cleaning and reporting projects. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the SQL with Neel. I will see you in the next chapter of the SQL Cookbook series. Thank you so much.